So, hi everybody and welcome back. This is Unreal Engine 5 full game tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 59 and in this video we continue with our game and we are here in gameplay. In gameplay we have already made a little bit about the story instructions, but the story instructions will take time because here we are telling the story and this part I won't make offline, but what we can do in this video is this one here, this point widget. We will add this to our instructions here, and yeah, let's get started and see how this is done. All right, first of all, what we have to do is we have to create a widget which are just showing our score here, and that's very easy. We know how to create a widget, right? We go to our folder, we go to our widget folder in our game for development section. Here we have different sections. I created already this gameplay section, and in this gameplay section we have already created this one widget, which was this gameplay text, and I created already this new widget, which is just this gameplay. How you create a widget: right click, then go down to user interface, then click widget blueprint and click just this box here, because we have you have also here some other menus perhaps. If not, no worry, just click this user widget, and if you click this, then it is creating this user widget here like so. And instead of this one, and then rename it. You can press F2 shortcut for rename, or then write, for example, WBP for widget blueprint, or name it like you want. I called it gameplay because this is the gameplay widget which I want to use in my game. I already got one, that's why I delayed this one here and use the one which I got already. And this widget is very simple what I made. Of course you have to style it later, but really I just added one canvas here. First of all, you just go right here, canvas in the left side, add it, then you have a canvas, and then I added just a horizontal box. You can see it here in the hierarchy, horizontal box, then you get the horizontal box here, horizontal box, I put it here, and in this horizontal box I throw in two text, and this two text you throw in, and one I called score, and the other one I called 0 because default value, and important is the 0 one, the 0 text here, you select this one here, go to details and make it a variable, because we need a binding to this text here. We want here, yes, change our score, of course. And then I have here one more text, but this one is just for test purposes. This one is, we have to show the player anyhow, give instructions how he can open up the option menu or something like that. All right, so you can see when I start the game,
Let's see if I find this.
It looks not very good, and my score is anyhow very big. We have to change this. So how we make this? So first of all, we are not finished. We have just created this widget, right? It was this widget, and then of course don't forget this anchoring. Let's kick this ESC for a moment and just keep this one and anchor. So you select horizontal box, and don't forget this anchoring here on the side. It's it adjusts this horizontal box to this side here when it's displaying. And you can see I did nothing more here. Of course you have to style this later a little bit better and so on, but for our functionality that's it. Compile, save, and we have to display it. And where we do display this, of course when this level starts, because then our gameplay starts, and this is all time the place where we have to go to the game mode. Most time, not all time, you can go where you want actually, but I go here to the game mode. This is a test which we have to delete later. And here in game mode we have here this event begin play. We already created here something, and here at the end I added this little widget here because I want, let's delete this one, that what I added. I want just here add this widget which we created. And how we add a widget which we created, like all time, the same thing. We drag out a node and write create widget, and after you create the widget, you select the widget which you just created, widget blueprint, and then in my case this gameplay here, and then what you do is add to viewport from this blue node, add to viewport, and that's it. That's all about this, what you have to do. And then let's write here a comment perhaps, press C for comment, select this, press C for comment, and write here a gameplay widget, gameplay widget, something like that. It's enough. And let's change the color here. So, all right, and that's for our widget, but we have to set the functionality, right? The widget has also a functionality. We have to set this one. And let's do this one now. So where we set the functionality for the widget. What is the functionality for the widget? The functionality is when I pick up an item, I want to give the player score points. So I want add points. And we have the question is now how I make this, right? So, and it's not so easy to find where we add this because I'm not using my own system. I'm using this horror engine, and you have to find this in this horror engine how to pick up an item and then add the and then from when you picked up this item, then add it to, for example, then add 10 points to your score here. And that's sometimes very difficult, but yeah, or you have two options. You create your own system, but then you are not using the horror engine. But in our case, we won't use the horror engine. We have not much time. That's why we jump into the horror engine and see where we can pick up items. I already found the place. It is here in the folder horror engine. So you go here to this horror engine. The horror engine itself here, this one, this blueprint is big. You click double on it. And here on the left side, you have here different kind of graphs. He's made this nice differently, which is good. And one of these graphs say lighter equipment, and these are all the different lighters. For example, let's click on this one, then we open up this one, and you can see this section here on top is saying glow stick settings, so all for glow sticks. This section is for the flashlight, and this section is for the lighter. For example, we are interested in this lighter, right? Because I pick up at start this lighter, and these are all settings for this lighter. We are not interested in all settings. We are only interested when we take the lighter. And this nice thing is he called it here take lighter, and then he set a boolean to has lighter to yes. And this is the place where we want call our function, or let's say where we add our points. How many we have to set up, how many points we want add to our score after this. Yes, after this is one place. There are probably other places as well, but this one is a good place. And let me show you one more thing here. When you go here to the weapon section, it looks a little bit different, and sometimes I think he called it differently. Get pistol here. Here it's called get pistol. Yeah, you have to a little bit look here. You have to look what he has called this nodes, and then figure it out where you can add the point. So in my case, I will use this pistol probably. I will use the light, and perhaps later more, depends what we need. But first of all, this two, let's see how we can set up. That was only the place where you can go. Of course, you can set up your own equipment system, but that takes a little bit time. And like I said, this game should be finished in 7 days. So I say I use this one. Why not? And let's go on. So I go back to the light, because first I want to add the light, and the light was this block 3, I think. This was this, not this flashlight. It was this lighter settings, and here I want to add my points. So now we have to go to the next step. Is now we found the place where we add our points, but at where? And we already made point system, right? In one of our other videos, we made a point system in our game mode. where is the game mode? So let's go to the game mode here in my world settings. Here is my game mode for this gameplay. Careful, we have two game modes. One is main menu, that's one we don't want. We want for gameplay. And the gameplay game mode is called here just horror game engine game. I use again the horror game engine. So let's open this one up, and we have created here already things. You can see that was what we already created, I think. And this one is the new thing which we created right now. But here, when we go here to the event end play, we have here a test. And this test was this adding points to our save game. And this test we have to remove because now we have to add the score, which is here, which means we have just add this score here. And the score here in gameplay, we have created this variable. This variable we have to change when we pick up an item. So when I pick up, for example, the lighter anywhere here, I have to change the horror game engine. Where is that? Here, the horror game engine, this variable here. So how we do this, there are different ways. You go back first to this horror engine here, and you say very easy, just get gameplay and game mode, and then just set it. That is one way. Or you make a function library for game mode, then you can all time call the function library for the game mode. But that takes a little bit now time, and I hope you know how to make this with function libraries. I just get the game mode here in the longer way, which is normally not so good, but whatever. How we get a game mode? Like all time, right click, get game mode, and then we have to cast this game mode. Cast to which game mode we need? Again, we need this horror engine game mode here. Okay, let's cast to this horror engine game mode. Horror engine. Okay, when I write it right, horror engine game mode, and there is it already. Not interface, this one. Cast to this one, and after you cast to this one here, what you do is most time click on this blue thing here, blue output here, and right click and then promote to variable. We do this most time, and the reason for that is just that we can use this one here. All right, so probably we don't need to promote this one to variable, but perhaps I need this in this horror engine later again, and I think I need this. But this is a bad place. Oh, that was a bad place. So what I realized that what I did is a bad place. Why is this a bad place where I did? Because this kind of stuff, what I did here, you should normally do when this horror engine starts, constructs, or begin play. So let's cut this. Let's select this. Let's Control X for cut, and we go to event begin play in this horror engine widget here, because this is event graph. This is the event graph. Event begin play is here. So you can see the horror engine itself have a bunch of stuff here. Big, many things, and we just add our stuff here as well. We can add it here behind, but the problem is I don't know what he made here between. To make sure that our thing is called as well, what we can do is very simple. Here in event begin play, we make a sequence. We press S for sequence, or right click and find sequence. And then the stuff what we want to, let's do probably second or first, or I don't know, which is more important. Let's do his stuff first. Perhaps this is important, and we call our stuff after this one, which are, with other words, I press Control V, that what I cut it out before, and I run this one here. And now I compile this one here. Let's see if this is not causing some problems. I hope not. All right, this one is now created in event begin play. Event begin play means at start. Normally it's similar to event construct here. There is also an event construct. We could make this there too. but here is also okay. All right, so we have this one. And the reason why I make this here is later I can use it in this pistol section too. You can see we have here different graphs, right? The one was the slider here. I can use it now here because now I have this variable here anywhere as horror game engine, this one I think. And I can call it, and let's call it, let's add our points now, because with this horror engine reference, I drag and drop it here, I say get actor, and now when this one is picked up, and I know this here is called when I pick up the lighter, because here it's set it to has lighter to yes, then I give him points. And these points you can make a point system, again a function, but right now we can use already, I think I created somewhere already something, yeah, this one here, Control X, I just adding points. But let me show you how, perhaps I show you how to make this from start, because yeah, let's make this one here from start. Why? Oh, Control Z, that was not good. Should select not all things here. All right, let's make this one from start. So how we add pointers? What? First of all, what is this note here again? This is a reference to our horror engine here, game mode, to this one. And why we have this a reference here? Yes, because we want access this score system. We want add to this score, which we created already, all-time points, right? All right. And then how we make this, how we add this, because here with this reference, we can call this this variable score here. Let's call it. How we make this? We drag out, and then you write this variable name. Okay, what was this variable name again? It was called gameplay score. Okay, let's write here gameplay score, and you can see when you go down here in defaults there is a get and set. We need both. First we need get, because we need first get how many scores we have, and then we will add to this one here 10 more. So which means we make here from this one what we have, add plus, it pop up this add one here, and then let's say test 10. Okay, let's make 10, and now we add it again to this one here, which means we can drag out from this reference again the same variable here and call again gameplay and you can see it here, but this time not get, this time we want set, and we want set the new value here which we calculated. These are 10 more, right? We added here 10, and this one we set to the new value here, and that's it. This is our score system. Not very difficult, very simple one. And let's make it here a little bit more stylish. Or let's skip this one here. Let's keep this. So, and we can connect this one here already. Okay, this looks absolutely not stylish, but let's keep it. You will see what this is, right? So I added at this point this system here. It is just adding 10 points. And of course you can make this one as a function too. You can select all this kind of stuff, right click, collapse to function, and use this later in other places too. I keep this one for now, and later I will see if I use this here or as a function, but right now I keep this here because here this horror engine is already filled with 1,000 things. The problem is we will probably not need so many things. We have to delete a lot of things later to make this blueprint a little bit lighter and more performant, but right now we're concentrating on adding just points. Okay, so we have now a way to add 10 points to our score, and let's see, we're adding to the score here to this variable. This variable is now where we use this variable. One way is when we save it. This is the save game which we set up earlier in one of my videos where I explained to you at the end of the game all time when we close it, this score which is here will be saved. This is nice, but not the right place, because we want it where we want it here in our widget. So we have to connect this now to our widget. And there are different ways. You can select now this one text here, which we added before. Then you can go here to the details panel, and then you can go here to the text and say create binding. And actually, let me see what I have here. Remove binding here. What you have normally, oops, score, what's going on? I have to write the text fast here, so I'll see this one, it's that. And where is content? There's text. Okay, this one here. So you select this one again, and here you have now this option create binding, but this one we are not using because this one is creating an additional function. Instead, we can do again use our game mode. How? So you go here, we are in our widget, you go to the graph, and now in graph you are going to right click and write event construct, and then with event construct you write the same thing what we did before. Again this one here, right click, get game mode, cast to the horror game engine, and then right click here, promote this to a variable, and we have here again a reference to our horror game engine. And why we are doing this, it's very strange here because we are not using this in the graph. We are using this in this designer tab. We go back to the designer now. We go here, you select this 0 here, and important, don't forget that must be selected as a variable because then we can make here this binding. Now you select this binding, and here you have now this option here, and this option means you can access it directly, and you are selecting your gameplay score, which means we have now direct access to our gameplay again, and we can make a direct binding there. That's a nice way, I think. It's one way, but there are different ways. And when you select this one, this is now connected. And I think, let's see if there is anything else which we have to do. We can compile, save. We have set up, I think we set up all things. So this is the point for the lighter. This is, what is that here? Let's see, this is just a save slot. That's not very important. Then we have this one, and we have this one, and let's see what we have here. I think that's all. All right, with that said, compile all, save all, and now we can test this, right? So yeah, there's one more thing. We go to the content, we go to our folder, and just anywhere where you want. Let's go to our widget, what we created, for example. Right click on it and go in show in Explorer. And what I want to do is I want to reset this score. You can see I already had here a big number. And how to reset the score is in your game project, go to content. And in content, you go here to where we go. Content, mega worm. I think you go to your project name. Sorry, not content. The content is the files which you created here in your thing. You have to go to your project name. So here it's called mine's mega worm. So go to mega worm. Then here you go to saved. Double click on saved, and here in save game, double click on save game, and here this one is the save game created, and this one we delete. All right, let's delete this, and when you delete this one starts from 0. So now we can test it. Now I press here start. Let's see if I find this cultist. And you can see I have a score 0, and let's go here. It's dark, I have to use the lighter. So I have to find this lighter again. Let's see where it's spawning. It's spawning here, okay. And let's see, when I click now, it should be added 10 points. And yes, it's adding 10 points. And you can see we can make now a point system. All items or other instructions or, I don't know, hidden points. And you can make whatever you like. So I think that's it for this video. And of course, I have to add this later for every game instruction so that it becomes interesting. And yeah, I stop here with that. And in the next video, we will continue, of course, with a little bit other things. And if you have any questions, any suggestions, like all time, write it in the comments. And with that said, see you in the next video. Bye, good luck, and have fun.